Have you ever waited in line so long you thought, what the heck's going on? Am I being tested or something? Well, maybe you were. Vote for Virtue of Patience this week, and let's find out what that test is all about.
What happens when a retired Army Ranger gets a job driving for Bloober, and his most recent fare is asking to take him to a destination unknown? Vote for it this week so we can find out together. You ever wore a gumball machine on your head and predicted a coworker's divorce?
Not since the settlement.
Well, last week we did exactly that, and now that psychic mall vendor is a legend in the feature film queue.
That's right, Gumballhead took the crown, and I still don't trust that kazoo.
This week we got more beer names coming straight from whatever you're drinking as we hit record.
That's right. Welcome to the chaos of movie magic combined with beer guide rails.
That sounds fun. No ads, no rules, just 5 beers and your vote deciding what we turn into cinematic gold next week.
Let's fast five this beast.
What did the boys brew up last time? Let's revisit the madness.
Last week we strapped on our vending helmets and let Destiny chew us up. Gumballhead was officially last week's feature film.
It was weird. It was prophetic. It tasted like quarters and chicken.
I love that you were able to seamlessly combine chicken and gumballs, and then it really the what I walked away with was thinking, why don't we have savory gumballs?
Right, chicken broth gumballs, pepperoni gumball.
Give me a pepperoni pizza gumball. Give me a smash burger gumball.
I want to be chewing on a piece of pepperoni for half an hour and blowing bubbles with it. Maybe I do. Let's find out.
I mean, I don't think it's worth not trying.
Right. Surely you can sell them for a quarter. What do you gotta make here? What's the margin? It's gotta be astronomical.
If anything, the novelty of it would get me, and then I'd be like, well, I gotta try the breadsticks, and yeah.
Right, exactly.
You could do like whole Italian themed gumballs.
I was gonna say you could partner with Olive Garden, a bunch of gumballs to take home with you.
It'd be better than the real food you get at Olive Garden.
Certainly less calories. There's all kinds of angles here. There's the health angle. There's the novelty angle. There's the Olive Garden partnership angle.
Chalupa. I'm having a chalupa gumball mixed with a dim sum gumball. I'm fusioning.
I bet China Panda. What do we do? Taco King, Taco Gong. We're at Taco Gong mixing gumballs. Taco Gong.
All the good ideas never get produced.
They do here. They live here in our heads and in this wild universe that's growing out of control every episode.
So the question that I asked you at the end of last episode was like, what is the meaning? Find me an allegory for Gumballhead, which felt really chaotic at the end.
Exactly. Kind of by design, I think. We wanted to try something a little different last episode. I feel like a lot of these movies, and which is we do a really good job, I think, at kind of guiding the audience through it. A lot of hand holding, a lot of laughs, all that stuff. And that's great because it's hard to tell a story. You want people to understand what's happening so they're not lost, tuning out, all that stuff. So we wanted to kind of roll the dice, I think, and play with what if we kind of give a little bit less, get a little wild, and instead of getting really specific with the details and answering all the questions like where do the gumballs come from? How does time travel work? What about the second Earth? We talked about
I really wish you would have included that.
We just kind of instead wanted to focus on what we said at the end of the episode, this kind of metaphor, what this feature was a metaphor for, which I think was find what you love and let it kill you, which is a quote, as you said, John, that's attributed to Charles Bukowski most of the time. So that was what last week was kind of this wild experiment of let's watch, paired with I think an allegory for growing up and just how anxiety ridden life can become as you get older. You get all these crazy thoughts. Everyone feels like their life isn't going somewhere. And then when the dog finally catches the car, when you get what you've wanted, well, what is that really? What next? What happens? And sure, it's easy to tell the once upon a story, happily ever after, What about all the people that turn into the Joker? What are the people that lose their minds when they get what they want? That's a story that's told less often for obvious reasons. And this is kind of our playful attempt, I think, at that of let's let, again, this guy get what he thinks he's always wanted, and it ends up, he loses his mind.
Yeah, and I was looking for like a story of kind of childhood, innocence, and gumballs, and then you grow up and it's not what you thought it was going to be.
Right. Exactly.
So you chewed 12 gumballs.
Right.
And no, you don't always.
Yes. And there's little metaphors in there. Like I like the idea. I think that's really what hatched it in our heads. It's like gumballs are fun. They're candy. They're kind of innocuous, but also you can choke on them. They can kill you. They're full of food dye. Like, like they're in a gross gumball machine.
Not
somewhere.
The black ones. That's the natural color.
They all start out as black licorice gumballs.
They spray paint them green.
It's just right. That's what the chemicals are scented and they clean the machines with licorice scented whatever chemical cleaner. So there's a duality to the gumball as well, as is there, again, this kind of happy sideshow performer guy who ends up thinking, and he's kind of right, that this huge government entity is chasing him down and trying to kill him.
And you know what I really liked was in the beginning, like I asked you a couple questions about, who is Gumball? What does he want?
Yes.
And then we also introduced this mysterious hooded figure who got immediately thrown away.
Right.
And it felt like either lazy writing or like normally we would have expanded and given more story, but we just left it there. And then when you took me to Act 3 and the Gumball started saying like, don't trust her. And we learned that Gumballhead was like part of Poltrico. Like that was like the first time I was like having a mind blowing experience.
Yep. Yeah. Because, oh my God, there's so many levels here. Because Gumballhead is like the anti-establishment, kind of, right? He's not the guy in the suit and the tie. He's doing what he's following his dreams, but he's seeing again and again. He's living in a world where that doesn't matter. You should be following, the rules and, all that stuff. But he still sticks to his dreams. It ends up working out for him again, or does it? And so we get to flip his world upside down at the end, where he sticks to his guns and it ends up being a mistake. The other thing about this, so I like movies that make I like movies that make a lot of sense. I don't like when writers just throw crap in to be edgy and wild, like that stupid polar bear from Lost. I'll never forget. I'll never forgive the writers for just doing that.
They had to know we all wanted that polar bear to mean something.
Sure, exactly. Even if it's as simple as like we were testing things on the polar bear. There's no explanation at all. Just a dumb polar bear. I bring it up all the time. But I was also reminded that one of the best movies ever, one of my favorite movies, Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds.
Great film.
You never learn why the birds are there, why are the birds doing this, and none of that stuff. You're just in the world, shit goes crazy, and then, spoiler alert, you get out of that world. And that's the whole movie. And I think a lot of sci-fi movies like Gumballhead, can spend a lot of time getting lost in like the why and building that world out. And that's fine. But again, we wanted to do something a little different and say, nah, let's get in there. Let's let shit go bad to this dude and take some leaps with us and not get lost in like how the machine works, who these people are. Like, it's just happening to this person.
I think so often movies do that. They try and dumb it down for their audience, right? Like, you're going to explain how this spaceship got to a black hole and back to me.
Right,
like,
exactly. That kind of stuff.
Just make me feel like I'm in the spaceship.
Right, exactly.
I probably wouldn't know how we got to the black hole if I was in the spaceship. I'd be like, the Wi-Fi's down.
Right. The Wi-Fi is down, and thank God we didn't hit an asteroid. Be thinking about practical things, not physics. So anyway, again, try some new things. Let us know if you liked it. Let us know if you hated it. Also, fun that we threw Lagerstein in there. We got to talk about Nugget Nectar, John Cena momentarily, bringing back chickens, which I'm all about that. So we did a lot of hopefully fun things last week. Yeah, let us know as always if you liked it, hated it, if you thought it was fun with kind of how quick it moved, if you wanted more answers about time travel, we don't have them.
It's a podcast where we make movie ideas from beer names and often make me hungry too every time chicken comes up.
Time.
But enough about chicken because it's happening again. Let's talk about something not chicken, like this beer of the week.
Mysterious, elusive, currently in my fridge and dangerously drinkable, I'm sure.
Harrison has drank more beer than John, and for that, John will always be a little jealous.
This week's beer of the week is Cold Hearted IPA.
We haven't had one of these IPAs.
Yeah, it's fancy. I've heard all about them, these IPAs. So this is from Bell's Brewery. It is a cold IPA, 7% ABV. And from Bell's, it says, this beer is dry hop with Centennial hops during a cold fermentation. This drinkable cold IPA is a crisp, refreshing with all the pine and citrus aromas you'd expect. Cold IPAs are an emerging subset of the IPA style out of the Pacific Northwest, not to be confused with an IPL or India Pale Lager. Cool. Yes, but it's a beer from a brewery that makes one of the best IPAs ever, and it's a different, with Bell's Two Hearted, it's a different take on it. So let's dive in.
Didn't we almost make a beer called Cold Hearted Woman?
We did. It was last Fast Five.
No one voted for her.
I know.
That's okay. She wasn't my favorite.
But it did. All I could think about was practical magic the whole time. But anyway, so this is an IPA. John, initial thoughts?
7%. I'm thankful that tomorrow is a work day.
But it's Friday.
It is Friday for me tomorrow, so that helps. And you know what? This is good. You said not to be confused with an India Pale Lager. Maybe that incepted the word lager into my head. Maybe I've drank a lot of chunky, hazy IPAs that turned me away from that genre of craft beer. But this brings me the flavor of IPAs that I have enjoyed, and it doesn't feel chunky or heavy.
No, not at all. Nice and smooth, but it's still got a big, funky bitterness in the front and the back, and it'll work, I think, as we power through.
If you didn't tell me 7%, I probably there's a little sweetness to it.
There is a little, but there's a little. I actually didn't pick that up until we just enjoyed it. Yeah, but it's super drinkable, and if it's very light bodied while still being. Bell's has a great way of making kind of light beer, but it's never thin. Anyway, I really enjoyed it the other night. It's part of their variety pack, so if you haven't checked it out, and you like IPAs, it's a good one, and we'll enjoy it and enjoy a riff on one of our favorite beers, Two Hearted, as we drum through these beers. But as always, this is not the beer we're going to make a movie of tonight. It's just going to inspire us as we sift through the Fast Five minutes.
Okay, so whether it's hazy, hoppy, or brewed in the basement of a wizard's RV,
this week's Fast Five has just enough flavor to earn a story and 0 legal questions.
So now it's time to shift the absurdity to 11.
5 beers, 5 movie pitches.
Let the chaos begin.
But before it does, remember, yes, you out there, people listening and watching, you can participate in this podcast by sending your beer recommendations to us via social media, or send your voice to us via speakpipe.com/beermethatmovie.
All of our beers are coming from Untapped live as we record. The first one up comes to us from Pete, and it's made by Fieldwork Brewing Company, and it's called Destination Unknown.
Ooh, Destination Unknown. Of course, the name of the late, great Anthony Bourdain's TV show, R.I.P. Other than that, makes you think of death.
Wouldn't that be Destination Unwanted?
Right, and Unwanted, and No Thank You.
Or sometimes Craved on Mondays.
Right, exactly right. This headache won't go away.
What immediately jumps out in my head, I was in boot camp in the Army, and we used to have to kind of sing cadence as we were running.
Okay.
And one of the cadences that I'll never be able, it just pops into my head, is about being an airborne ranger and one of the lines is "Mission top secret, destination unknown."
Oh, really?
So
That's
I think,
cool.
like, one, that kind of sucks. We should know where we're sending some of our best operators.
Yeah, you should know. The enemy doesn't need to, but you should know where you're going.
They should be surprised, but maybe like, should I pack double socks or are we going to a warm environment?
Right. Is it right? Is this a windbreaker
Always
situation?
pack double socks.
There you go.
But then what I think of is like, so you have a lot of times what happens is an Army Ranger retires.
Okay.
Probably not. Yeah, a lot of times.
Yeah.
They retire. Usually then they go on to have a podcast or get a career in car sales.
Write a
but
book. Write
a book. So, they've done their job. Like now they just have to find something that kind of bides their time.
Yep.
And for this one, he's seen so much of the world, but he hasn't seen very much of home because oftentimes, like, you know, you gotta go. So he hasn't seen very much of home. He comes back and it feels like, this isn't the premise of the movie, but anyone that served knows when you come back home, this is like the scariest place you've been. Like it feels weird.
Right.
Kind of like a destination unknown.
I like this.
But what happens is he takes a job driving for a rideshare service called Bloober.
Perfect.
Because we don't want to get sued.
Important. I'm glad you always remember that because I'll forget.
Bloober and Blift. He does them both.
He does them both. Wouldn't you?
And he, you know, you pick up your fares and you get them sent to you. So he kind of works where he wants, shares some of his stories, provides life advice. And then he gets a ride share and he goes to pick someone up. And when he goes to look at, you know, where they're going, it says destination unknown on the GPS. And he's like, oh, there must be, hold on, they must be rebooting the Bloober map. And he looks back at the guy behind him, Harrison. Take it away.
Damn it. Oh, I knew it. I love this. Well, okay, so it could be a clearly an older version of himself, not clearly an older version of himself, and I've just ruined the movie. Like, that's what we learned in the last minute, but I've just started with it. Or it could be, God, you know, someone he doesn't know.
Like someone that was affected by his military career?
Yeah, I thought about that too. Like, you're right. Someone he looks like he served with, or like his first wife, or... Because if we want to go metaphysical, it could be him, an older him, or something like that. If it's his wife, maybe it's more of a thriller, and she's being used by some evil cabal to get him to some place to pay for some thing he did wrong, and that's what we learn.
How about if it's, let's take a look at modern times and make it a Middle Eastern looking person.
Great.
And the Middle Eastern person knows who this guy is, but he doesn't know who the passenger is. And he tells him, you know, where we're going, the GPS usually doesn't work, so I can just give you directions. And during the movie, we get a feeling that maybe he's being set up for an ambush.
Okay.
Or maybe he's being set up to, like, go find what is missing from his life here in the States.
That's what I want it to be. I'd like it to not be a cut and dry
and it's
thriller.
The VA, and it ends in Act 1. It's an 8-hour movie to get his blood tested.
Get his blood tested. We think you have high levels of
You're going to need to take these aspirin. You'll be fine.
Oh, my God. I like this. I like the bones of this. I like the beginning of this. I like the backstory you've painted for us, because this could go anywhere with whomever gets in the back of this Bloober with a destination unknown. And the movie could be mostly in the car. It could be at this first destination. Maybe there's multiple destinations. I think that's good. Sometimes in the Fast Five, we just give you a taste, a teaser. And sometimes that's enough for you to say, I want to know the rest of this. And you vote for it. So I'm happy to leave it there.
I think that's good.
I think it's a great setup.
A lot of potential. Destination unknown. Of course, the movie isn't going to be known
yet. We got to figure that out. We got to explore the map when we get there.
So that's our first one. We're going to give you 4 more.
One down, and this beer train isn't slowing down.
Beer number 2 comes to us, checked in by Corey, made by New Trail Brewing.
Sick. Yeah, they're out in PA somewhere, I believe.
Oh, I was thinking about hiking on a new trail and how that might be more dangerous than an old trail, but
definitely is. If you're the Pathfinder,
I am a nerd.
You're the Trailblazer. You don't want to be the first guy to do anything.
New Trail is, and they've made this beer called Broken Kingdom. Broken Kingdom could be about modern America.
Oh God.
Could be about a busted down theme park.
Right.
I say we
Sweet
take
funk
it
band.
on the nose. And here's here's my start.
Yep.
You.
Yes.
Whoever that is, you. Could be you, Harrison.
Cool.
But you wake up, you go to bed, rough day at work. You wake up.
Oh.
Where the hell am I?
Oh.
It smells like horse. It's a little bit warmer, a little bit more humid.
Okay.
You're sleeping on hay.
Nice.
You're in a totally different place. Probably not. You look down at your Apple Watch and nothing happens.
You're drunk inside of medieval times.
Yeah.
And the show's about to begin.
You are now the star of the show. Kind of like that, though. Kind of like that. You wake up in this kingdom.
Uh-huh.
There's a plot giver, right? There's maybe like a small person, smaller than normal sized person.
A child?
But not a child, an adult small person.
Got it.
Who's like, you're sleeping in my horse stalls again. Get out of here. I told you can't sleep here. Another drunk from the tavern. You get up and you look around, you process this world of what looks just to be medieval to the best of your recollection. This isn't something normal. And time goes by. The kingdom was this once majestic place. Like, think King Arthur's court. It was. But what you're living in now is like the desperate tries of people attempting to hold on to life as they knew it, as it's all slipping away from them. Everyone seems to be in a state of like malevolent despair. Like, maybe they're not mean, but like no one has any hope. The kingdom is broken.
Because the boy King Bronson reigned for 50 years, but he started his reign when he was 5 months old, and it was chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos, John, for half a century.
Lots of crying.
And everything fell apart. And I see this kingdom being broken into, like, let's say, like 4 kind of pieces, regions, whatever. But again, everyone's fighting amongst themselves, each other. There's no law, no order. No one believes in the king, who basically just wasn't ready for it and abused his power, forgot about his people. He's lucky to have his head. He's lucky he made it to 50. Somehow it happened. And maybe like along the way, he had 4 sons and 1 daughter.
Okay.
We're doing this as we go.
Weird math, but let's go with it.
And on his deathbed, it's decided, or he bestows, or whatever, instead of the oldest son becoming the king, there's 4 regions. Each son will get one of them. The daughter can't, obviously, because she's a woman in the medieval times. Yeah. So we'll have a huge tournament for her hand in marriage, and whoever wins that, number 1, gets a chance at the 4th piece of the kingdom, marries the daughter, and whoever can kind of lead uniting the kingdoms together will become the next king. And so you start as this boy in the stable, this young man, whatever, covered in horse poop and talking to a fairy, and then you...
Not a fairy. a shorter than normal stature adult human male.
Got it. And so now you have to fight. You have to fight. You enter this tournament somehow. It'll be right. King Arthur.
Love it.
It's a fun, Lord of the Rings type Knight's Tale thing.
I like, you said initially 4 sons, 4 broken kingdom
I think I said
pieces.
3 sons. If I said 4, I meant to say 3.
Maybe you... What is memory? I thought I heard 4. So I just want to say, for the record, if we end up picking this movie,
yes,
4 sons inherit the 4 kingdoms, and then the contest is just to inherit the daughter's hand in marriage. Like, that's all you get.
Okay.
But what it turns out is that daughter's hand in marriage ends up being more powerful.
The thing that unites the kingdoms?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So it can be a little bit kind of woman empowerment, a little bit mythical journey, and definitely nothing about Peter Dinklage.
Nope. Not at all. He won't be in every scene, but maybe he'll narrate it. Peter!
I like that. Beer number 2. Let's go find our third.
2 beers deep and still thirsty. Let's keep this going.
For beer number 3, this was checked in by Sean, made by Brewing. It's a mead. I don't know why I feel the need to announce that, but it's a mead, which is also a beer, sort of.
Sure. It's awesome. It's rad.
And that explains the beautiful picture. And the long name of this beer is The Heaviest Matter of the Universe.
Ooh.
Which feels like anything my wife is upset about.
I was going to say, we could go literal and have this be about the thing I forgot to get at the grocery store. And then, again, you always forget.
I picked the kids up. I even did extra. You forgot the eggs.
Exactly
I
right.
should have married the one my mom told me to.
Who had the egg farm. Isn't it weird? It wasn't a chicken farm.
He killed 2 of his wives.
Right? Yeah, for stealing his eggs. Yeah, he liked eggs too much. You'd overcompensate.
John Cena.
Just running around, sitting on eggs all day. Okay.
Help me out, Harrison. Great title.
Let's
great
not
beer
do that.
name.
Right. Let's go a little maybe more on the nose. So there's this fun book that came out in the 70s called, I think it's just called The Ring Makers. But it's about, and I think it was supposed to be maybe nonfiction. Regardless, it's this theory that this guy, the whole book is like, aliens are out there, they're in the rings of Saturn, they build their spaceships there because the pressure of space allows them to crush all these heavy metals, and make the ships there. Here are some blurry pictures of space rocks that I think are spaceships. That's the whole book.
Isn't there no pressure in space?
True.
Okay.
It's something about, like, because of that, they can create, I don't know the science.
I'm sorry I was pedantic.
Something about you need to be in space to make this stuff. And I've heard that about other things. So I think that, whatever. I don't know this. I'm not going to
It
pretend.
could be really cold, zero gravity.
Sure,
There's
that's
some,
stuff. Something like that. You said some of the words that probably matter. But what if we follow that thread? We have this we're going to make a space movie, folks, whether you like it or not. But we have this be the adventure of a crew of, garbage haulers in space. They find one of these ships hidden in the rings of Saturn, and then we get our own version of Alien. I've just set up Alien, but I'm doing it. We're going to do it differently. It's going to be a different movie.
Garbage haulers. Damn it.
I think they were.
Trash haulers. I mean, waste movers.
That's right. Just
Space
the feces.
recyclers.
That's right. The feces, faster than light feces travel. Everything's powered on poop. But it could be a movie about, we can go from there. They find an old ship, and it could be, maybe it's abandoned. It starts off that way, but when they go inside, it turns back on, and a homing beacon goes out. Now they have to figure out, what are they going to do? Is someone coming for them? Yada, yada, yada. And they get to have this adventure. It could also be maybe set in a larger universe where, like, the sun's dying or it's getting really hot. There's some problem somewhere. People are trying to figure it out. And maybe the solution to this problem is inside this ship. And they kind of stumbled upon
That's cool.
it.
Okay. It's a little ways into the future, 2037.
Perfect.
We're regularly
We're almost
traveling
there.
through space. The sun has accelerated and is burning out. It's not like this weekend is your last, but
Sure.
we might only have 2 or 3 generations left on Earth.
There we go.
So people start panicking. Tech companies, Elon Musk is still trying to solve it by putting more Starlinks up in the sky to block out the sun.
That'll do it.
I have this great idea. If you just everyone on Earth pays me $100 a month,
I'll figure
I can
it out.
solve it. So
And they did.
they find this spaceship, and within that spaceship is the thing
The MacGuffin.
that they exactly, and the spaceship is tethered, or like they can't move it, and they're like,
Perfect.
well, it doesn't. it doesn't matter how heavy this stuff is. We're in space. It should move, right? Like the jet. We don't need the jet engines. We can literally just tow it out. Like this is space.
Yep.
But they cannot get it to move.
I like this.
And also, their communications equipment gets fried the moment they come within contact with the ship.
I like this. It's tied to this heavy rock thing. Looks like a rock.
Then I don't think they know what it's. They don't know what's tethering it.
So it's just not moving.
Yeah, they can't move it. That's the weird. Well, so I don't want to.
What I was gonna say is that it's tied to some huge, what looks like a normal boulder, rock space thing, which is this heaviest matter of the universe. In fact, the spaceship is like basically a balloon to this giant rock that's alive but speaks rock. And so they have to figure out how to communicate with this huge space rock that's basically holding, like a child holds its toy, the key to solving Earth's problems. And so what do? Do they try to fight it? Do they try to steal it? Do they try to reason with this thing? And it can be a fun exploration of humans and communication and being calm under pressure and how do you talk to rocks.
I like that a lot better.
The great granddaughter of the guy who invented the pet rock somehow shows up and saves the day. I've been talking to rocks for 5 generations.
They immediately start playing Ozzy Osbourne.
Just put googly eyes on it. It makes it easier to communicate with.
It could turn into a space like we maybe Act 1's very serious and then Act 2 and 3 is very Spaceballs. Yeah.
Something like that. That wasn't my intention.
Develop the space rock eyes.
That's right.
It has to have a personality.
Bigger. A fun feather for its hair. The world is dying. Get me a giant feather. Pink, you idiots.
NASA's sending up supplies for it. Like, how are we gonna transport these 50-foot tall googly eyes?
Right. This is how we're saving the planet. Oh man. Well, crazier things have happened.
I think there's room for that to work. The heaviest matter of the universe, big heavy title, heavy thing that hits you in the gut. Yep. And I really like that it ends up being a baby lonely, giant rock that's just lonely. And maybe we need to throw him into the sun.
That's right. And wait till Mama Rock shows up and sees you're messing with her child.
That is Saturn. It's Saturn's baby.
Saturn's baby. My boy. Leave him alone. Saturn's eye is getting closer. Is that his mother's butthole? She's swallowing us alive. Yeah, now there we are. That's our movie.
Saturn's butthole swallows humanity's last hope.
Wouldn't be the first time.
We're going to come back with beer number 4.
That's 3, which means we're officially too invested to stop now.
Beer number 4 we're going to take a try on. This comes from Ellis, made by Burial. Not the name you would expect, made by Burial. It's only one 3-word sentence. Virtue of Patience.
Ah.
And it has all the Burial,
it does.
You expect there to be like a harp playing every time you say the name of the beer.
Right.
And it made me think, like, patience really is a very noble trait. And I find that I love people that have it.
I wish I had more of it.
But I don't have enough myself. Maybe none of us do.
Yeah,
even like when you're in hospital, they call you a patient, which I assume is like pulled from that word, like wait a while.
Yeah, you're gonna be hanging out for a bit.
You're just like, you're hopefully. So my thought then is like, not hospital patience, the virtue of patience. We all like that. I'm not telling you anything new.
Right.
It's a virtue. But then I thought of a long time ago, we made a movie called The Fourth Dose.
Yes.
Which was, spoiler alert, plug your ears if you haven't heard it, about the horsemen of the apocalypse looking for a new rider. So I kind of got myself in that headspace, and I thought, this is like a thriller movie where people have been captured. We can figure it out later.
Okay.
And they're in like the trials of patience, sort of Squid Gamey, but but more thriller. And the trials of patience, like someone is trying to find the most patient person on Earth. to unlock something, to endure something. I don't know where they're going with it, but that was my initial thought, Harrison.
They need to find the most patient person on Earth, right, for some task. This is it. It's just like Escape Room or Squid Game or Saw, whatever. It's just like Fourth Dose. It could be super similar. 5 people wake up in a room, and the trials begin, and the movie will be us building out how do they try people's patience. Is it a bunch of toddlers kicking you in the shin? Or are you just in line and some single mom keeps saying, do you mind? And they get in front of you with 5 carts of food. Like,
well, we've all been so, maybe it's not even like so on the nose, maybe it's just life,
right?
But for the movie we'd make it a little more clear than it's just people living.
Right. Yeah. Right, but these specific, we'll go through specific trials. I'll have fun making them up. And then we'll get to do the most fun thing, which was the thing that tickled me the most about the Fourth Dose, too, is figure out why do they need the most patient person on Earth? Who needs them? It could be very cabin in the woods at the end. We'll see. I don't know. This is another one where I like, unless you have more to add, this is a great setup. If you want to know more, gotta vote for it.
Yeah, I think that's really all there has to be. The more we add to it, the more I think it it would take away. I want the mystery is like, what are we? That's what I want you to feel in Act 1 is like, why are we here? What are we looking for?
I love it, and that was fun. Fourth Dose was the second one we did. It was maybe the most complicated movie we've ever done, and we did it second.
Yeah, there was
but it was fun to do and. That unfurled as it went, and I just remember thinking, I don't want it to be the devil. I want it to be someone that's evil but not the devil, and we got there.
Yeah, you knew that early on, too. I remember it was like maybe Act 2. We didn't even really think about movies and acts back then, but you knew early on where it was going, and that really helped.
It was cool.
And I can't think of anything else to add. I can't even think of like the most patient person I ever met was probably my 8th grade shop teacher.
Oh, there you go. That's important to be patient. When all your digits, you got to be at least patient and have good depth perception.
Yeah. Out of that one eye. Shop teachers, underappreciated. I don't even know if they exist anymore.
Yeah, I hope they do.
Beer number 4. We got one more to plug, so we get 5, and this Fast 5 is coming up next.
4 ideas in. At this rate, we'll have a cinematic universe by the end.
Beer number 5, checked in by Rob, made by Jersey Cyclone Brewing.
Ooh, fun.
Named aptly for Jersey, Fogscape.
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 Think fog plus landscape or
landscape, Escape, landscape, skyscape. Nope, that's skyscrape. Well, you have like a cityscape. That's the skyline, if you will. I think with this movie, John, in my mind, is a mysterious fog rolls in over San Francisco. Sure, it's not that mysterious. That happens a lot.
Yeah, but
it's bigger, it's thicker, it doesn't go away. Maybe some creatures are in the fog, and this is like a classic kind of Die Hard San Andreas type movie. It's The Mist, but if The Rock was in it, punching his way to freedom. This is an action movie. We're in high rises. There's fog everywhere. Creatures in the fog.
What happens when you go into the fog? What happens to those people?
We don't know. They probably die. Maybe they become the creatures. Maybe they freeze in the fog.
Things come out of the fog?
Yeah. I mean, it's a movie. I'm imagining a lot of shadows in the fog, grabbing people, jumping around. Very similar to The Mist. But instead of a small town in Maine, let's do this in a big city and add that complexity to it. And our story would follow, like Joey the pizza delivery boy and Sam, the girl he'll never be good enough for, and they're trapped on the 18th floor of some high-rise when this happens, and they gotta, figure out with Rob B., who checked this in, who's the bellhop, how to survive and not die. And then it's Cloverfield in the fog, in a city, and it's a fun. It would be a right.
I've heard monster movie,
yes,
action movie,
yes.
and now fun
it's
movie.
Fun, like they are laughing. Well, there's a comedic relief. Rob will be the comedic relief, as they're trying to just survive this fog, this monster fog. This is just the mist in a city, is what I'm realizing I'm creating. But that's fine. We haven't done it. No one's done it.
Okay,
so
so
mist in a city.
A city plagued by mist.
Yes, fog.
Atypical mist.
Yes,
and it starts scaring people. It almost makes me think of like how isolated we all are.
Sure, it was a big
maybe
metaphor.
Maybe the shadows in the fog and the monsters in the fog aren't even real. Maybe what happens is like we're forced to stay home and play Trouble with our family.
All the phones don't work, and you've got to interact with people and build a community.
Now that's the horror movie.
Right, exactly. That's the scary thing. Right, I got to talk to my downstairs neighbor. All I've ever done is yelled at her when she hits her broom on the ceiling when we try to play Guitar Hero.
And then they start to realize that in the beginning it seemed like the fog was just closing in their neighborhood or their apartment building.
Right.
But now it's almost like the fog is like at their door.
That would be fun. Yeah, it's in the building. That'd be fun though, John, if we made it where it was maybe the beasts are real, but like what we learn is when the people come together and cooperate. Like the last scene of this movie is them like making it out of town, and they've all, this apartment building, come together and saved each other and put their neighbor first, and then the fog and the monsters just disappear. Like you figured it out, humans. We'll give you a second chance.
Oh, this might ruin it, but I like the idea that no one's ever gone into and come out of the fog.
Yeah.
But if you hold hands, you can like peek in and they can pull you out. So all this apartment building gets together.
They have to
build a huge human hand.
We can make it to the top of that hill where the fog isn't.
Send another person. They said it was still foggy, and they're like up and down the line, like holding hands, adding more people.
Yep. That's
and when they get to the other side, or do they get to the other side?
That's
we'll leave that
out.
Yeah,
sure. But it could be fun. Right. So it'd be more than just them running from ghosts in the fog. It would be about people.
I will say that if this gets made, it has to happen in Jersey, so we can do Jersey accents.
You're right. Okay, fine. It is made by Jersey. You're right. Silly of me. It could be not Atlantic City. God, nobody lives there. We do it we could do it in Hoboken.
They're in Somerset, but I don't know anything about New Jersey other than Atlantic City.
We'll do it in Hoboken or something. Somewhere. We'll figure it out. If you guys vote for it, but that could be
Hoboken's a real city name.
100%. Right at the bottom of Manhattan, poking out at
Hoboken.
Hoboken.
It sounds like something they would do in Alabama.
Hoboken. It is something they do.
Going Hoboken.
Going Hoboken tonight. That's right. Well, pull your pants up and tuck in your hat. Ooh.
Okay, so we made it through 5 beers. Checked in as we were recording. We got 5 movie ideas: Fogscape, Virtue of Patience, The Heaviest Matter of the Universe, Broken Kingdom, and Destination Unknown. We got to kill one of them, and usually we don't kill one, we just leave it out to starve.
Sure.
So I'll begin, and I'll say that the 2 that I really liked were Broken Kingdom and Destination Unknown.
You liked those. All right, so those are staying.
I liked those 2.
Ooh.
Both atypical Beer Me That Movie ideas.
Sure.
So no one will probably vote for them. That's reverse psychology.
I liked Virtue of Patience, and I want to make Fogscape. So I think we've done it. The quickest ever.
Easy.
The heaviest matter. We'll say goodbye to Sweet Rock
No
Baby.
more space movie again.
Did to ourselves this time. But that's okay. They all live in the vault. So if you guys ever disagree with us severely, you can always also write in your vote. And if enough people write in the heaviest matter of the universe, we'll make it. But
yeah, if you leave a comment and that's your vote, that counts for 2 points.
Oh, there we go. I like that. Comments count for 2 points, 2 votes. But for now, we'll do Destination Unknown, Broken Kingdom, Virtue of Patience, and Fogscape.
Fogscape. How do they say it in Jersey? Give me a Jersey accent if you can.
Nope. It's going to go Boston or it's going to go London. Brr, Jersey. Nope. I'm just thinking Boston. Nope. What's the Atlantic City?
Jim Tan Life. Give me Jersey Shore people.
Oh, that's a Staten Island accent though.
Oh, damn. It's so confusing.
It's a lot of moving pieces and parts.
Coffee?
We'll work
They're
on
not coffee.
No,
They're not okay.
That's Queens. It's okay.
A lot of work to do.
We'll figure it out. We'll watch. What's a show in New Jersey with actual Jersey people in it? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I don't
we'll
know
find
if they've ever made
some
one.
sort. It's all about people escaping Fogscape.
So 4 beer-born movie ideas made it out of tonight's Fast Five alive, but only one of them gets the golden ticket to feature film glory.
That's right. And the rest, well, they're to quietly escorted off screen with a firm handshake and a burner phone.
Yeah. You decide which of these rises, which one gets deleted harder than your ex's Netflix password.
You can vote on Spotify, on Instagram, on YouTube. You can yell it into a canyon and hope we're nearby. As a bonus, so you guys will actually have a full week to vote. We're going to take a quick little summer vacation to give it a full week. No excuses if you screw it up.
Extra points if you vote while holding a beer and giving us finger guns.
And extra bonus points if there's a taxidermied badger in the frame.
Ideally with a tiny crown.
Obviously.
Until then, peace.
Punch. Give me
that tiny crown, you little badger.
You badger.
Is that the animal of New Jersey, a badger?
I don't think so.
Trash badger?
Trash panda?
Trash panda.
Trash panda.
The New York. No,
absolutely.
Damn it. The New Jersey. Man, I remember the first time I remember ordering a Two Hearted, I hadn't fully understood IPAs yet. This is how powerful Two Hearted IPA was.
Sure.
I was trying to impress a girl at a bar by ordering a cool beer. So I said Two Hearted, and they gave it to me in the bottle, and I took a sip, and I was like, oh, fuck, I have to get through the whole thing and still impress her by not looking like my face is turning inside out.
Like you just ate an old lemon. Yeah.
That's how cool it was.
Yep. I had the similar experience with Sierra Nevada's Pale Ale the first time I had it in Baltimore at some dive bar with my girlfriend at the time. And I was like, this is another craft beer. I was in college. I've had 60 Minute before. And I remember drinking it being like, whoa, that's way more bitter than 60 Minute. But I made it through, John. I had a bunch of nachos. And I think I had crab cake nachos.
Yes.
So any
Baltimore.
Yeah, anything.
You weirdos.
Easy to have anything with crab.
Everything's
cake
a
nachos.
crab cake.
Put some crab in that. This is my newspaper, sir. Put some crab in that. This is my child's car. Anyway. Okay.